Hey everybody, it's Debbie O'Neill at Cricut Designs, and today I wanted to share with you a envelope that I created in Cricut Design Space using some free shape images and the slice tool, and I'll explain to you what I did. But I made this to fit the pop-up box card that I created for us to celebrate our 10,000 plus members in our Let's Learn Cricut Explore Facebook group. So if you've been looking for a box card, we do have one in the files section in our Let's Learn Cricut Explore Facebook group, and it includes the base. There's one that's the base box, and then the other file has the embellishments that I created. These were created all from free images in Cricut Design Space, so anyone can create this card if you have Cricut Design Space. So I needed to come up with an envelope for us to be able to use for those people who want to mail their box cards. And of course you can make any type of box card that you want and just create different embellishments using different Cricut shapes or whatever files you have. I've seen people using print and cut files. I've seen people using various Cricut images, SVG files that they've created, even doing photos, adding photos onto the box. So these are really versatile. However, when you add, in the video that explains how to make this, I talk about when you add your embellishment, your pop-ups into your box, to try to keep them so that when you fold your box closed, they stay kind of within the boundaries of the top and the side edges of your box. And that is so that when you go to put it into an envelope, it will actually fit. So think about that as you're adding it in. I always kind of test how I have my embellishments in here, and then fold my box over, and if I need to adjust anything, I do that then, and then I attach it so that my box folds appropriately to get it into an envelope. Alright, now this particular box here that I created is 5.5 inches wide, and it is 6 inches tall. Alright, so the best thing to do was for me to create a 6x6 square in the center here for you to be able to add your box into. It's a little bit bigger than that. So the overall size of this, I used a 12x12 piece of cardstock and the shape cut out at about 10.25 inch square all the way around. To make the box, I used a free shape in Cricut Design Space there again, so that you're able to make the same thing with your Cricut Explore machine without having to purchase any files. And the other thing was I used another smaller box to create the triangle pieces to cut it out using the slice feature in Cricut Explore. And I'll show you guys in another video how to make your own envelopes and to use the slice feature to do that, because it was really fairly simple. The other thing you'll need to make this is you will need your score tool, because I have added the score lines along the edges here so that you are able to cut this out and fold it up and be ready to mail your box card. Another supply that you will need to have on hand is, I like to use a bone folder so that I can get nice sharp edges, and I'll show you when I assemble the envelope here in a minute. And then you need some kind of adhesive, and you guys know that I love my Score Pal tape. And Score Pal tape is a double-sided tape that has a waxy lining on it. Okay, it has a waxy lining, and you'll see why I love this. It's so easy to tear and goes on beautifully, and it really holds your projects in place. I use this a lot with any of my 3D dimensional projects. You'll see that I used it in my pop-up box card assembly video as well. Or, you know, use a tape runner if that's what you have on hand. A tape runner's fine. But you need some type of adhesive to hold this on. There is another type of adhesive that if you have some, you can use it. If not, don't worry about it. But it's the Lick and Stick Remoistable Envelope Glue. And what this is it's glue that you can add to the top of your envelope, just like a professional envelope that you purchase with a box set of cards or something, so that then you put this on and you let it dry, and then you would be able to wet it, and it would actually hold your the top of your box, top of your envelope closed. Sorry about that. And so you just re-moisten it when you're ready to use it. So you could put this on if you're creating a bunch of envelopes at one time, and then later when you go to actually fold that envelope over, you just moisten it and stick it back down. And that is called Lick and Stick, and it is by Green Sneakers Ink. And I believe I purchased this at the Paper Source, and I know other people, there's another brand that you can get at the office supply stores, and this one I picked up recently, and I've used it a couple of times and I like it, but there again, this is an optional thing. You don't have to have this. Alright, so you've used the Design Space file that I've given you, and you have cut out your envelope and it's scored it. So let me show you a couple of tips. One, instead of trying to peel this up off of the mat, this is a fairly sticky mat that I'm using, so I like to flip my mat over and then actually take the mat off the project instead of the project off of the mat. And I'm just using my hand here to then just kind of gently pull my mat off, and now I have my project completely off of my mat in the order that I needed it in, so that it didn't tear the paper. Okay. Alright, so there is my completed project, and now what I want to do is I'm going to fold two of the sides in and one side up. Alright, so that's going to create the base of my envelope. Alright, so I need to add some score tape to hold this on, and I like to put it on this piece that's going to fold up from the bottom, so that I have a nice clean edge, and I'm going to use my score tape for that, and you guys will see why I love this so much. Let me get this in camera. Okay, so I'm going to add my score tape right here along the edge, and all I do is just tear that right off. Did you see how quick that was? How easy that was? No scissors required. I just lined it up, stuck it on, I laid my finger down, I just pulled it off, and there the tape is torn and ready for me to use it. And then it has a plastic liner, a waxy liner, not plastic, a waxy liner, and I'm just going to peel that right up. It is no trouble at all to get the liner off of this. There is that double-sided red line tape, and I do have that, and I've used it, but that you can't just tear it, and you also can't just peel that liner off very easily. I usually have to get a tool out to do that, but with this, I'm already on my way to having my envelope. Look at that. Now here's the part that's going to fold down, right? Okay, so if you don't have the envelope glue, what I would do is I use some washi tape to hold it closed. I've done that. I've also just used some Scotch tape. I've also just used some just regular glue. I use my Zig 2-way glue pen and put a little bit of adhesive on here and to put it down so that the envelope will stay closed. If you're going to mail it, I really recommend that you go ahead and add a little bit of tape, and I just happen to like to use the decorative tape when I do this. And I have some here that I'll use with my card in just a minute, and you'll see what I'm doing. Alright, so I have my envelope ready. Okay, when I folded this over, the bone tool is what I use to go back around the edges, just to give it that nice, sharp, professional look to it. Since I'm making this out of cardstock and it's a little bit heavier, this is close to my heart white cardstock, which really folds nicely and it cuts great in the Cricut Explorer. And if you need information about that, I am a close to my heart consultant, and I'm happy to talk to you about using our cardstock. Anyway, so I folded the card the envelope. I have it all ready. I have my card ready to go. So I'm going to slide this in here, fold it over, and then I'm going to use washi tape to close it, just to show you guys the washi tape, because it looks really cute when you do that. Now the washi tape you can tear with your hands as well, but I usually like to have a nice clean edge when I do that. So I'm just going to add some washi tape here. And I'm just going to snip it. And then I'll line it up on this side so it kind of creates a cute little V here. And now my envelope is secure and ready to be mailed. And then the other thing that I love to do is, since I put it on the back side, I usually add a little strip of washi tape along the bottom edge of my envelope, just to give it a little bit of a decorative touch. And you can buy washi tape in a lot of different places. They even have it at the office supply stores. I've seen it at the dollar store has washi tape. It may be called, you may see that it's a paper tape, it may be called that, but all of that works. But now I am ready to mail my card, and I hope you guys like the video. Please follow me on YouTube and subscribe. I make videos all the time about using the Cricut Explorer. I love it. And you can find me at scrapmequickdesigns.com. And of course, please join us at the Let's Learn Cricut Explorer Facebook group, where you can get this 6x6 envelope, Design Space file, and the pop-up box file as a thank you for being a member of our group and helping us grow to over 10,000 members. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.